My relationship with Compassionate Friends began many years ago in Bethesda, Maryland, when in February of 1974, my oldest brother, John, died in a car accident at the age of 24. That tragedy put my family in a tailspin. My parents, Sally and John Ketchum, quickly grew apart as they were grieving very differently, which left their other children, me at 19, my other brother Jeff at 22, and our younger sister Eleanor at 9, not knowing which way to turn or what to do. Then, in 1979, my mom read an article in the Washington Post about a new group forming in the DC area called the Compassionate Friends. So my mom decided that was just what she needed, and by some miracle, she got my father to go with her. It was because of their incredible support that they were finally able to start moving on with their grief and their lives. It also made them more available to the rest of us siblings, because back in 1975, Compassionate Friends was only for parents. As my mom healed, she became a facilitator for that chapter. From being involved with Compassionate Friends, my mom, in 1980, became inspired and was instrumental in the creation of the first hospice in Maryland called the Montgomery Hospice. That's still a thriving hospice today. After I moved to New Hampshire in 1981, I too went to work with hospice as a volunteer coordinator for many years. It was what I was doing in 2008 when my family was really hit hard yet again. On May 18th, my wonderful sister-in-law, Lisa, died of cancer at the age of 57. Then just 3 months later, on August 6th, my only child, my beloved daughter, Joanna, died at the age of 26 from a missed and undiagnosed blood clot. I was rocked to my core. I just couldn't wrap my head around Joanna being gone. The evening of Joanna's funeral, I spoke to my mom, the one person I knew who would understand and guide me through this hell. As we talked, she said, "Promise me you'll go find a Compassionate Friends chapter. They will help you. You won't find anybody better to support you." Little did I know that that would be the last conversation I ever had with my mom, as she suffered a stroke the next morning and died 3 days later on August 16th. So, honoring my promise to my mom, on September 28th, I walked through the doors of the Manchester chapter of Compassionate Friends. I looked up to the sky and said, "Okay, Mom, I'm here. Now what?" Being a member of Compassionate Friends has been just as healing, life-changing, and helpful as it was for my parents, and as my mom promised it would be. I too have gone on to become a facilitator, as well as helping create the Monadnock chapter in Peterborough, New Hampshire, as their treasurer and facilitator for a few years. I've continued as a facilitator with the Manchester chapter, and in 2018, I was asked to be the keynote speaker at our annual candle lighting honoring the 10th anniversary of Joanna's death. I am now about to mark 15 years of being a member. Recently, because of my work with Compassionate Friends, I was given the opportunity to join David Kessler's Grief Educator program in order to make my vision of speaking to high school and college students about death and grieving in an effort to begin the change in our culture from being a grief-denying society into a grief-accepting one. In closing, I've often been asked how I have found this new life that I am living that's full of joy, peace, and a grateful heart, while keeping Joanna and all my loved ones' memories alive. My answer is easy. It's because of my incredible husband, my family, my friends, my church, and of course, Compassionate Friends. So thank you, Compassionate Friends, for the amazing support you have given my family for 48 years. And a special thank you to all of your donors tonight for making it possible for Compassionate Friends to continue on and be that guiding light for all grieving parents and now siblings and grandparents. Good night, and God bless.